Hi Libra, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I am going to be doing your June 16th to the 30th, 2021 reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps with the algorithm, and you guys are just amazing, so thank you so much for doing so. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed and linked in the description box below. Now before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Let's let the bowl sing as we see what the tarot has to say. Libra, June 16th to the 30th, 2021 Libra. June 16th to the 30th, 2021 Libra. June 16th to the 30th, 2021 Libra. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. Libra, June 16th to the 30th, 2021 Libra. June 16th to the 30th, 2021 Libra. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Libra, June 16th to the 30th, 2021 Libra. June 16th to the 30th, 2021 Libra. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Okay, there we go. Libra, June 16th to the 30th, 2021 Libra. June 16th to the 30th, 2021 Libra. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. At the bottom is our rooted self. The left-hand side, our inner self. The middle, the heart, the emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, and the public self. So let's see what the cards have to say. At our root, we have the 9 of Wands. We have the 4 of Swords. And we have the 5 of Pentacles. Oh, very interesting. So it's complex. At our root, there's a lot of complexity, a lot of needing to kind of step back and honor and see what we have been through and look at the poverty mentality that has been holding us back in the past and that has been corrupting parts of our present. Our inner self is judgment. And the 4 of Pentacles, the 4 of Pentacles for me is vampiric energy. Here it says stability, but it's that energy for me that pulls away the stability, that makes it so that we feel like I have to hold on. If I don't hold on, then everything is going to fall apart. And that's going to be something that we can see at our root, that is going to be rather intense for us. We think that if we just hold on hard enough, strong enough, if we just believe in something or, work long enough, we'll be able to have what we want or have what we've envisioned. And sometimes the vision of what we have needs to change because it's not working out the way that we had originally thought it would. And that can be very painful. It really can be. At our heart is the 2 of Wands, the 3 of Wands, and the star card. Star card is Aquarius energy, time frame January 20th to February 18th. But there's a sense of looking towards the future, towards our dreams and towards our desires. And At our heart is our dream. And if we lose sight of what we truly want, of what we truly desire within ourselves, but this is not only our dream, but this isn't like, cross your fingers, oh, I wish type of thing. This is a soul's dream. And that's the soul's dream starting to come forward. So we can actually be taken by surprise by what our soul is longing for, deeply desires. It moves us to the Emperor, which is Aries energy, time frame March 21st to April 19th. And the Four of Swords. We have the Four of Swords coming up twice now. And this is a need to rest. This is a need to honor the path that we have been on, what we have been through, the hurts, the pains, the disappointments that we have seen. So during this time, to be able to honor ourselves is important in the public arena, but it's also important at the root of who we are. Now let's look at our chakra cards. Libra. June 16th to the 30th, 2021, Libra. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Ooh, there we go. Fell right over our inner self. So this is going to be something that we need personally to be very aware of. And it's our dreams. It's the third eye chakra coming in. And it's knowing that spirit is going to be communicating with us mainly through our dreams. Through our dreams, through our desires, through our hopes, and through our wishes. And we're going to see our dreams coming forward in a very real way, but also in a very intense way. It meshes with our heart, but it's almost as if there's a sense of being held back from what it is that we most greatly desire. And as we're held back from what we desire, we start to question our way of moving forward and the bigger expanse of what's out there for us. If we listen to our dreams, if we listen to our daydreams, if we listen to the quiet moments and the introspection that is a part of us during this time, we're going to be able to see that spirit is leading us in a very specific way. And again, it's going to be in a way that we hadn't anticipated. Now let's look at our chakra, and not our chakra energy, the energy we need to be mindful of. What is the energy that Libra needs to be mindful of? June 16th to the 30th, 2021, Libra. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. It's the Queen of Wands. It's being caught up in the passion, the rush of it. It's going to also be people that we're going to be drawn to during this time that seem to have all the answers. Here's the thing. When anybody says, I have it all figured out, they don't. We have things figured out in moments and in spaces and in waves, but never all the time. And so here when we're embracing our passion, we're embracing our greater understanding, we have to know when it's a warming fire. It's a fire we like to sit by, or when it's a raging blaze that we have to get out of the way from. And we're going to meet people like this during this time where they're intense and they're focused and they're not afraid to roll up their sleeves and go after it. And we're like, yes, that's exactly the type of energy I want to be surrounding myself with. But they go from being a gentle blaze to being a barn fire and can become destructive in doing so. So we do have to be mindful during this time for that energy, because we are going to be very drawn to it, because there's a sense here of wanting to push things forward, wanting to see what happens if we can just kind of go for it. At our root, we have the Nine of Wands. We're tired of fighting. We are tired of fighting. And this is also a time where we need to stop listening to everybody else. And we need to start listening to ourselves and what we desire and what we want and what we need and where it is that we want to be. So during this time, we also have to look at the fact that we still stand. The fact that we've come this far. And that becomes something very beautiful. It's like, wow, I have endured all of this heartbreak, pain, disappointment, upset, upheaval, which comes from the Four of Swords. That ability to be able to step back and say, look how far I've come. Look how much I've overcome. And look where I stand now. There's going to be a sense during this time of thinking it was all for naught. It was all a waste. And it wasn't. It was as far from a waste as you could possibly get. There's going to be the sense of anger and frustration and disappointment in ourselves, in those around us. Everything happens for a reason. And I know people argue with that, but it makes life better if we think, okay, things happen for a reason. And with that energy comes the sense of, I'm not a mistake. Nothing that I've been through, nothing that I have endured is a mistake. And there's a powerful meaning to that for me. And being able to step back and being able to see the choices that we could have made that, might have made things better, but might have made things worse. And being able to honor the road that we walk, it leads us to looking at the poverty mentality that we have, the Five of Pentacles, burying away our wealth and seeing ourselves do so. Now, this could be a personal gift that we have. This could be money itself, finding that, we spend frivolously because we want to be able to say, oh, I can be free, I can spend my money as I want to. That could be a part of it. And sometimes we need to look at that and say, oh, wow, yeah, okay, that's the truth right there for some, and for others it is not. With the Five of Pentacles, it can also be growing up without money. It could be always having to watch the dimes and the pennies just to make sure that we could get by. And that leaves a scar. That leaves a scar that at times I think you will always run away from, because it's always part of our subconscious. It's also from an abusive relationship. If the person used money as an abusive tool, these are times where we need to step back and we need to look at our connection with money, how it blesses us, how it's cursed us, and everywhere in between. And know that we're not that poverty anymore. No matter how that poverty manifested within our lives, within our souls, within ourselves, we're not it. It does not define us anymore. And it moves us to judgment, because in our inner selves, we're seeing us forgive. It says forgiveness right down here. We're seeing ourselves rise out of the box, rise out of the constraint and the heartbreak and the disappointment and the anger and the upset, and being able to hear a call. During this time, we are actually going to be hearing a call. There's going to be a sense of, I'm being drawn to do something more. I'm being drawn towards something greater. It's time to embrace. It's time to expand. It's time to gain an understanding and achieve. With the judgment, we rise. And with this rising, with this greater understanding, with this passion, with this power, with this insight, we become more than we expected. And in our inner selves, because we're rising out of the box, this is a time of self-reflection where the Four of Pentacles, where it says stability, it's like, I long for stability. I long for the stability that being secure brings me. Not having to guard my chakras, because in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, we have the Four of Pentacles at the feet, the solar plexus also guarding the heart and the throat chakra, the way he's huddled over the pentacle, and the crown chakra. And the earth star chakra is blocked at the feet, and the soul star chakra is blocked at the crown. It's like, I'm not letting any of the energy in. I'm not letting any of the energy out. I have what I have, and it'll last forever. And that's not the case. That's not the case with life. We need to raise our energy vibration. We need to feel alive and beautiful and serene within ourselves, within our souls, within our desires, within our hopes and our dreams and our wishes. And the Four of Pentacles is a place of lack and hurt and pain and disappointment. It's the curses spoken over us by people who were small-minded or petty. And I don't mean that they actually spoke a curse over you, though, I mean, some could have, of course. But there's the sense of, I gave you this negativity. I doubted you. I belittled you. Whatever. And so this negativity comes, and it wounds, it hurts, it overwhelms, it takes us by surprise, and it takes away something so astoundingly sacred to us, which is our right for prosperity, our right for bounty. And it leads us to the path of the poverty mentality, because I have to hold on. I have to hold on. Because if I don't, everything will fall apart. It's the people in our lives who just take and take and take. It's the situations in our lives, the jobs, the relationships that they take, and we know it. Because there's a sense of, if you've ever been in a job where you just feel absolutely drained afterwards, all the time, and there's none of the high, there's none of the beauty, there's none of the serenity that comes. That's where we have to start looking at things. Now, it can be that we need to find a side project, something to bring us the beauty in, and to let us release, and to let us be. And we're actually seeing that within our heart. Our heart is looking at new directions, new opportunities. We're looking at the world, and we're not seeing the world as this vastly scary, overwhelming place. We're saying, where do I stand here? What do I want? What do I desire? How can I move forward? What are the possibilities? And what does that mean for me? Where do I want to be? What do I desire? What do I long for? And these are the deeper questions. It isn't going to be easy. Nothing in life is ever easy. But it is going to be powerful as we get there, as we see this, as we start to embrace it. And then we have the Three of Wands. Our heart is looking for something more. We might find that we want an adventure. We want, to go on a holiday, or, just go exploring or do something do something that makes life feel a little bit wild again. This is definitely a time where we're tired of being, stuck indoors. We're tired of being, confined. This is going to be a time where we want to see more coming. And the Three of Wands also shows our ships coming in, shows things that we've set in motion time before, starting to have a payoff, starting to guide us forward, starting to lead to something that is exciting and new and adventurous and bold. And it leads us to our wishes. We've wished for something more. We've wanted something more. With the star, we're also looking at this sense of, what is it that I greatly desire? What is it that my soul desires? And we can find that at times we're trying to run away from the quiet within ourselves. So Libra, we do have to be mindful of that, because the heart can be so intense during this time in looking at our passion and our fire. And that's why we're going to be so drawn to people who shine bright, whether they can, whether they shine bright in a positive way or whether they shine bright in a negative way. We're not going to be able to tell the difference until we get burned, until that fire rages just a little bit too high. What we're looking for here is we're looking for what our soul has longed for. And this is a time where the answers don't come to us as straightforward as we want them to. This is a time where our dreams are important. This is a time where quiet meditation is absolutely essential. This is a time where we open up the doors and we start to see things. We start to see things more clearly, more openly, more honestly for ourselves. And when Spirit says we open up the doors to the possibilities, to the way that we can move forward within the world and what we want from our world. It moves us to the Emperor. In the public arena, we claim our throne. Now, there's going to be two ways that we want to claim our throne: through force, and the other one through a sense of, nobody's going to rule my life. I claim this throne because I claim the power of myself, of my individuality, of my intensity, of my desire. With the Emperor, there is a need to step back from force, because the Emperor is represented by Aries, in the zodiac. And Aries is the god of war. So if we let the Emperor kind of go through by force, he will become a tyrant. So we could become, and this is just a forewarning, we can become a little bit tyrannical, being very focused on rules, being very focused on, absolutes during this time, setting up arbitrary rules that in the long run will not make as much difference as we think they will. This is a time where we sit upon the throne, and we need to claim our throne, because everybody needs to claim the throne within their existence and say, this is my life. This is how I'm in charge of it. This is what I'm going for. This is what I want. To be able to build something beautiful, powerful, and brilliant for ourselves. This is a gentler Emperor. This is a person who sees a greater vision and brings forward new existence. I keep on seeing the aqueducts and what's in Rome, but the aqueducts weren't always built and maintained by the nicest of emperors, but it's almost like the healing waters of spirit are being brought forward through hard work and almost a bit of visionary insight. And so that's what we have to look at and hold on to here. Our hard work and our visionary insight, the thing that opens up the door, the thing that sets us apart and sets us forward in a very real way. And it brings us to the Four of Swords. It brings us to that nesting little owl, that place of serenity and peace. Now, the Four of Swords in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck is a tomb with 4 swords hung above that tomb. I think 1 sword is on the tomb itself. In medieval times, when a knight would come back from battle, it was a ritual for them to sit within the tomb that they had constructed. Not the normal soldiers, I don't believe they would do so, but the nobility, they would. And they would think of all the ways they shouldn't have come back. And they would give thanks to God that they had. Or, they were supposed to. And here within our lives, we're so focused on goals. We're so youth obsessed. We tend to honor and esteem the oddest of things. That when the Four of Swords comes into play, it's saying stop. Stop. And look at how hard the road has been, and how far and well you have done. Even if you're saying, I messed up. even if you're thinking, this is not well. Just being able to see it and say that there's more out there for me. That's powerful. But we have to step back and we have to honor who we are and how we came this far and where it is that we want to be. It moves us to our subconscious chakra message, which is our inner child, the heart chakra. This is a sense of being able to hold our arms open to the child that we once were and saying, I love you, I see you, and I'm here for you, and I will always be. There's passion and there's beauty and there's brilliance here, and letting that shine. Being able to connect with the person that we were when we were small, when the world was so big and so scary, And yeah, it was small and it was large at the exact same time. And being able to see us for who we are, who we want to be, and what it is that we desire. That's huge. And honoring that is huge for us. It moves us to our subconscious energy to be mindful of. And that's the star. It's letting dreams become our aim and thoughts our master. It's having us think that it could be ideal. Remember what Dostoevsky said. If we had our dreams, if we had our paradise, we would pop them one by one like bubbles. And that's the truth. So being able to know that our dream is going to be the greatest longing of our heart, and also a trap that we could fall into, because the couldas and the shouldas and the wouldas at our base, they come into play. And the fact that we never get to the perfection. We'll either push it out if we have reached someplace that was good, or we've just fallen short, and we'll think that it was something wrong that we have done. But it doesn't have to be. It can be the dream takes us on a different path. Our subconscious rooted self is the Four of Cups. Divinity is handing us a gift that doesn't feel like a gift and doesn't seem like a gift. They're handing us a gift that will have us looking at things differently, that will feel overwhelming and doubtful and maybe even hurtful at times. But what we're going to see is that there's beauty within the wasteland, and there's more here than has met the eye before. And we start to see things in a different life, in a different light. But past life, that's why Spirit had me say that. The past life recollection of things, the past life power of things can be very strong during this time. And we might be like, I don't know why I'm feeling this way. Past life, it can be, a little bit of regression that we do with hypnosis. It can be just meditation and saying, what was the trauma that brought me here? That starts to come forward. Or what was it that brought me to this spot? That starts to come forward. And we start to see that. Our subconscious inner self is the Emperor again. Maturity, dedication, insight, ideas, passion, power. That's important to us, to claim the throne. Not to say, look what I can do, but to say, look what I have done. I'm not forcing this. I'm taking control of my life, of myself, and of my destiny. It moves us to our subconscious emotional message, which is the Seven of Wands. We're going to feel like I have to fight. I have to fight for new opportunities to open up. I'm going to have to fight for my ships to come in, for things to start paying off, for the new dawn to come. I'm going to have to fight for any dream to be recognized. And it's going to be an endless, continuous fight. This is saying, stop fighting. Stop fighting and step back. Save your energy for when it's worth it. And focus on what is needed now. And if right now it's holding on when there is nothing left, that's important. But fighting every person who doesn't understand, fighting every sense of ignorance, hurt, and despair, saying to the world, I'll show you, and having it come out of rage instead of out of a sense of, I know that my soul was meant for more, that's important. That is so important. The intention behind us is important. And it moves us then to our subconscious public arena, which is the Fool. It is time to move forward. It is time to go after something that seems ridiculous, out of the realm of our being. It's time to leap. It's time for people to say, oh my gosh, that's so foolish. And then for us to prove them wrong, because there is no greater feeling than that. It's time to embrace our dreams and to look at things in a very different way and know that we're moving forward towards a very different future than maybe what we had originally thought, when we were young and dreaming it all up. But it doesn't mean that it's bad at all. It means that it's powerful and it's unique and it's custom made just for us. All right, Libra, I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we take time to connect with Spirit and see what is to be unfolding before us. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Libra.